Hi, it's Carol the Crafty Whippet, and welcome back to my floss tube. I recorded last week, didn't like it. I got halfway through editing and just said, you know what, not feeling it. And it was refreshing to say, yep, I'm going to take a week off because I haven't gotten as much stitching done as I need to. And it's not helping. We're right now less than a week to Christmas, and Sabrina's not done yet. Oh. Okay, that's fine. We'll get to that in the whips. But today I did want to discuss a little bit of my plans for 2019 and where I am right now. And where I am right now is very unorganized. It is... My life the last 2 weeks has just been a whirl of kids' activities, and I don't know where this schedule came from. I mean, I kind of do, but every one of these things that I said yes to along the way felt like such a small thing. And then last week was just this perfect storm of no time to stop and think. And it was the worst. And nobody wants to have that in the holiday season, but it happened to me. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how I'm planning on tackling that going forward too. But first, let's just roll with whips. Again, not a lot this week. And first we're going to start with Sabrina. Here's where she was last week. And here she is today. Okay, DMC is done. Kreinik, done. The Kreinik was weird, by the way. I didn't find it as... I had seen really bad things online about how awful stitching with it is. It wasn't. It's weird. It's super weird. And the sound of the braid going through the linen made me grit my teeth, but I'm really sensitive to fabric sounds like that. But in the meantime, we're beading. Okay, so I have done, and the way, I don't have a frame. I don't have Q-snaps. I think I've shown you. I work on a hoop. So I did all of this in the 10-inch hoop. I'm doing this little part in my 8-inch hoop, and then I'm going to come up here and do all this. It's tedious. I love the effect. Absolutely love it. These flowers weren't really making sense to me until I started putting in the metallic beads. These, the blue ones. Super pretty. Now I see it. Now it is lovely. But I am stitching it using a Coats & Clark invisible thread. It's 100% polyester. I actually have it for hemming things, but I do find it good for beading. But it wants to tangle. It's kind of plastic. Well, it's totally plastic feeling. It's not the most enjoyable tactile experience with my fingers, but we're getting somewhere. The end is in sight. Thank God. I love this project, but I am ready for a break from the big ladies for a while. Good call. So next I decided to go with the new start, a little bit of Christmas stitching, and I haven't gotten as far as I would like. This is Gloria and Excelsis from Erica Michaels Designs. And I've done the angel, well, part of the angel, and I started the lettering. My O and my R are a stitch, or yeah, a block too far towards the bottom of the chart, so I gotta rip them out and redo them. But in the meantime, I did enjoy the Excelsis. Here is over one, as is the angel's head. I didn't like the angel's head as charted for the cushion model, so I substituted in the angel head from the berry model because it has the singing look, whereas for the cushion model, it was like a horizontal line. Didn't really look to me like a singing angel, and I'm not even going to claim any originality on it. The model stitcher did the exact same thing, and I liked it better than the charted. The other change I did is I substituted in a green just for the holly leaves in the corner to emphasize them because I wasn't really seeing them when I had it in red, so I thought the green was a cute holiday. It makes it a little more holiday, but it's holly in the corner. It's pretty holiday no matter how you look at it, so... That's as far as I've gotten. I'm not sure that I am going to be able to, let's say not sure. I know I'm not going to get this finished by Christmas. I'm okay with that. It is a large chunk of fabric here, so my plan is to use this end for Adeste Fidelis. So at least they'll match. whenever I get them done. And the reason I haven't gotten as much cross-stitching done as I should, this little bad boy. I found this needlepoint kit. It had been sitting in my stash, and I know I did this last time. So I frogged most of the stuff that I'd done in here, which was not a lot. I haven't finished frogging here. And then this has become my little travel piece. When I go anywhere outside the house where I have to sit and wait for the kids, aka my son's basketball practice, this goes along. And I don't like the stamped aspect to it. I wish they didn't even bother. It matched up dead center. It is off over here and it is off over here. Fortunately, the kit included a chart that corresponds to where everything needs to go. It is kind of frustrating, unlike a cross, it's not gridded. You have all the little squares and you're kind of guessing. So sometimes I can't tell the difference between 4 and 5. I have to do it in context with what's around it. But I have surprisingly loved picking up needlepoint. Again, I don't do a lot of it. I mean, like I said, this has been hanging out years. I don't even remember when I bought it. I mean, it has a copyrighted 2002. I bought it after that, but I don't know when. Probably before my daughter was born, so it's been hanging around for a while. But I have had a lot of fun. I kind of forgotten the needlepoint. It's not something I do a lot of. My mom never did a lot of it. My grandmother. So many awesome projects, and I think they're in my mom's house somewhere because a bunch were never finished, but I'm not kind of thinking, I'm going to call up my mom and see, like, do you have grandma's old stuff? Because if you're never going to finish it, I'd like to do it. I don't really care about the final picture. Like, those are pansies. They're okay. But that I am just having fun with it. I don't love it in the same way that I love cross-stitch, but it's a fun change of pace. The only thing that I wish about the pansies is it is charted using a 6-strand embroidery floss that you are putting all 6 strands through, so it's a very thick. I prefer it to be wool, but you know, working with what I have. I was so excited at finding and enjoying this old kit that I've been kind of on a quest to walk around all the various big box stores that carry craft sections and look to see what they have by way of needlecraft right now. And I've mentioned it's really slim pickings. Like, tragically so. I was in one Michael's near me and they don't have really anything. Like, needlepoint was 3 tiny little kits this size. And they was like, here, butterfly, ooh, flower. That was kind of it. I mean, there's never been as many needlepoint kits as there have been cross-stitch kits, and there's so few cross-stitch kits right now that I guess I should be impressed they had any needlepoint whatsoever. But I remember there being more stuff available, and even there's no booklets. There's no, like, of any kind. There's no cross-stitch booklets. Like, so none of leisure art pamphlets, none of those. I hope you don't want them because Michael's didn't have them. The end caps were full of reading glasses and adult coloring books. I have adult coloring books. I kind of fell for that thing. When was it a craze? 3, 4 years ago? Maybe longer. I don't know. Anyway, I'd gotten a bunch of them, colored a couple pages in each of them and said, this is stupid, and stopped doing them. And I mean, I guess they're selling because that's why they're in the end caps, but those are the places where I normally would have found all the leisure art, because I was kind of looking for some like Christmas ornament stuff. Not there. They had a couple embroidery kits, but I don't know how to embroider, so I didn't think anything of it. Next, I found myself at Walmart. Walmart, I have a love-hate relationship. It is useful for some things. It is craptacular for others, and I haven't checked a Walmart craft department in literally years. I go to Walmart, honestly, to buy oatmeal and shampoo and not much else. So I was in a super Walmart, which is not particularly convenient to me, but it happened to be where I was. So I decided to go check out their craft and sewing department. The sewing side was sad. They didn't have any fabric bolts. It was prepackaged random quilting stuff, but I'm aware that that's what most people sew. Most people do not make clothing at this point, but it was not a particularly well-stocked Walmart. But the craft department was less disappointing than Michael's, which I don't know how I feel about that. If you don't have the full line of DMC. At least Michael's has all the DMC colors, but they don't really have anything else. Walmart, less DMC, but there weren't numerically more kits, but there was a better differentiation between what the kits were, so you could get at least different stuff. The ones at Michael's were all very much in the land of cute, kids learn to cross-stitch animal type things, and like that was it. Walmart had some ones with scenery, some animals, some floral, lots of Bible verses, but those can be removed. You don't have to stitch the verse if you don't want to. And they had some embroidery stuff, no needlepoint. But anyway, so I guess embroidery is kind of the new hotness as far as people picking up needle crafts, because I keep seeing it everywhere. And in the case of Walmart, they had a whole bunch of these, and I'd seen these at Joann's before, but for whatever reason, I got the bright idea, I'm gonna learn to embroider. I have no idea how to do it. It's just I have a lot of floss hanging around, and I thought these were kind of cute. And much like, this is so sad. Okay, so all of these have days of the week. Days of the week. Days of the week. Yeah, I got 3 of them. They're $1 a piece, and I wasn't willing to make judgment calls. I don't know what is easy for me to do and what not. Like, so like these birds, are these birds too difficult because I'm gonna need to do more filling in stitches, whereas I can do a lot of these in like back stitch? I don't know. Again, I don't know embroidery at all. That's one of the things for 2019. I want to learn how to do it. In the meantime, I also picked up these flour sack towels. I have no idea if they're any good as towels, but they seem like the thing to embroider on, so I got enough to do 7 each for a day of the week for my kitchen. And fun thing, and again, go back to things I don't like about Walmart, in order to hit price points, for years they've been pressuring suppliers to basically offshore all your manufacturing. If you can point to one of the single worst pieces of destruction of the American consumer market, it's Walmart. But for whatever reason, they had 2 different types of tea towels, one which was the made overseas and one that was made in the USA from imported fabric. So it's still functionally the same cotton because they're probably being sourced from similar mills, but at least it's finished in the United States. And I am a big proponent of, no matter where you are in the world, to try to support your local industry. Those are the people in your community. They need jobs. It keeps your community vitalized. In this case, it's Illinois. I do not live in Illinois, so it's not particularly local, but it's more local to me than India. So, and again, I mean, I know that the cotton itself is probably from India or Pakistan, so it's the similar quality, but the price point wasn't terribly different. It was, I think, 75 cents. So for picking up 4 packets, I paid an extra $3. It was worth it to me. I was at least happy to see that they had options. Again, that's more than I was expecting. So that's something for 2019. Gonna pick up some embroidery. And in addition, I decided to kind of sit and think about, what do I want to accomplish in 2019? And the answer is a lot. My daughter last year gave me this super cute bird journal. So apparently the put a bird on it thing, my kids had picked up on before I'd even really noticed how often I do it, but isn't this cute? And she gave it to me for Christmas. I wrote in 2 pages. Didn't do so good with it. So I decided I'm using this as my 2019 planner, and I went ahead, I dated it, and I wrote my list of goals. And I don't know how realistic any of these are, but I figured I would put down what I wanted to get done and then see how I'm tracking along and figure out, did I think too ambitiously? Did I not give myself enough credit and then made it so I'm going to finish my goals by June? I don't know, so that's part of why I'm doing this. I have been more productive with my hobbies cross-stitching hobby in the last 3 months than I've been probably since I was in college. That's kind of impressive. I mean, my housework has suffered a little bit for it, but that's what happens. The deadline project was a bad idea. 2020 hindsight, when I decided back in September that I was going to finish Sabrina before Christmas, I did not track out what time wickets I would need to meet in order to do that. So for next year, I don't have any deadlines for other people type projects. I have self-imposed things I want to get done in the year, but if they don't happen, I'm only disappointing myself, not other people. By the way, no, my daughter does not know that I'm doing Sabrina for her, but I know my husband knows, and I just want it, it's for her. So we'll work with that. Okay, so first thing, sewing goals. I'm going to say, I've never talked about sewing other than maybe in passing that I do it. I have not sewn anything for myself in 6 months. I made a bathing suit for a trip. I have not done anything since then other than make a bathing suit for my daughter. But nothing. And I have some pretty good suspicions on why I'm not doing any garment sewing, and it has a lot to do with my setup as far as where my workspace is. It's in a corner that's underlit, and I just don't like it. So I haven't been sewing at all because I have no goals, no nothing. Well, what I've decided to do is just a garment a month. And the garment can be as simple or as complex as I want it to be, but once per month I need to have a completed item. Realistically, what this means is I'm going to make 12 t-shirts between now and next Christmas and call that good enough, but at least it'll be something. I have a lot of knit fabric hanging around that needs to be used up, and I would honestly just like to have a finish. I think that's really the problem. I haven't started anything, so I haven't finished anything, so I feel just no urgency to go look at any of it. And it's sad because I love making clothing for myself. I mean, I made this top, and I made a whole bunch of other things in that time frame, but a lot of them, they're now getting to the wearing out stage. So I do need to add to my wardrobe this way. And I'm always happier with the things I make versus what I buy. So see how that goes. But again, one a month. Hopefully I can knit it. Knitting. I haven't bought yarn in years, but I have a decade's worth of stash based on my knitting speed in my basement. I have a bunch of UFOs on Ravelry. They've just been sitting, nothing's changed for some of them in 2 years. I'm going to finish one sweater that I have had on the needles in a various form for the last 5 years. It's almost done. Like, that's the worst part. I just need to do another sleeve. I think finish up the back and put it together. It's not a lot of work. It's just stuff I have not sat down and focused on. So I'm gonna do that, and I am going to make one pair of socks to use up sock yarn. That's it. I think I'd even written down I want to do this where I'm like, no, let's finish the sweater I have, do one pair of socks, and we will call that good for knitting. I enjoy what I get out of it, but I'm not feeling the process right now, so I'm not going to try to force myself to do much of anything, just kind of use up the stash that I have. Cross stitch. Now this is where I have a lot of stuff going on, so I don't know how realistic it's going to be, but again, that's why I'm sharing 2019 plans. My big goal, 2-page finishes on my Haid. And right now I have 400 stitches short of 1-page finish and half another page done. So what that really means for 2019 is to finish that 1/2 of a page, and we'll call that 1-page finish, and then do one whole page that hasn't been started yet. I think it's doable. That's 16,000 stitches. I can do it. It's just I haven't really sat down and forced myself to do it. That's it. The desire hadn't been there, so I haven't done it. Well, if I keep going like this one Haid will never be finished in my lifetime. I don't want it to be like that. It's taken me 2 years to basically get 1 page done. It's 49 pages. I don't have 100 years left. I would like to finish it. I like the picture. I enjoy stitching on it when I sit down to stitch on it, but I have been kind of dividing my attention on big projects. So I'm going to let that be my big one, just 2 pages. If I do more, awesome, but that's going to be my bare minimum. I'm going to do all of Mirabilia the Autumn Queen. I bought the pattern in college. I have Spring Queen done, I have Summer Queen done. I would like to have Autumn Queen done in a year, and then Winter Queen in 2020. I know I can get it done within a year. It's mostly a matter of me staying focused on it. And hopefully not only getting halfway done and then deciding next November, oh, I'm gonna have to burn through this and end up like poor Sabrina this year. My first start of 2019 is gonna be Ink Silk Girls Tapestry, just because I already have all the materials, it's kitted up, it's ready to go. I would like to do it. It's something different. It's not as big as the Mirabilias, so I'm gonna view it as a medium-sized chart. It's under 200 by 200, barely, but I think that 200 by 200 and bigger is where I start transitioning to thinking big, and it's smaller than the 100 by 100 or smaller that I kind of think of as small. So that'll be I'm gonna probably try to keep only 3 whips going at any one point. I know I have more than that right now, but I'm thinking 3 is the right answer for me. So 1 big one, 1 medium one, 1 small one. And my Hade, because it is so big, I don't even care. It's my only full coverage going on right now, and it's huge. So it'll just live in its own little world of, it's a whip that'll go forever. We'll see how that is. And for my small project, what I'm planning on doing is my Prairie Schooler Prairie Garden 1. It has 12 motifs in it, so 1 flower a month would have to be finished at a bare minimum. I'm not going to, unlike the sewing where it's 1 garment a month and I can't do 12 t-shirts in January and call it good for the year, I am going to allow myself to do that on Prairie Schooler. It is going to be my small project. I do a flower, okay, cool, and I can put it aside until next time is small. I don't have any dedicated rotation right now. I'm just thinking that 3 whips is about where I stay focused. And like right now, the problem is I have too many, because I keep starting things and I'm not finishing them up. And I'm starting not huge projects, I'm just not getting them done. So I'm gonna kind of see how it works with having a big project but broken into much smaller bits and see if it works for me. I won't know until I try. I don't have a dedicated like hour rotation, day rotation. I haven't figured any of that out yet. I'm gonna kind of wing it and see how it goes. Fingers crossed. I mean, it might be great, it might not be great. I won't know until I try it. The other part that I'm going to be doing is, this is a big thing, track goal progress. So the journal, I will be writing, hey, this is what I get done on a weekly basis. Because, again, right now, I've created these goals. I have no idea what I can get done and what I can't get done. But I figure if I track it, then measuring it can tell me what I'm actually capable of doing, and then I can set more realistic goals for myself, and hopefully that'll help with me not buying so much stuff for stash. I'm a little embarrassed about that. And also just for getting them done. I enjoy making progress. When I look on my Instagram and I can see how much work I've done on Sabrina in the last 2 months, it's really impressive. I had never done that before, so I think it's great. But again, if you don't track it, you can't improve it. Now, to go along with that, where am I going to find the time? And I mentioned I wasn't getting my housework done either. Was watching a really great YouTube video, I'm going to have it linked below, but it's about calendar blocking or time blocking, whichever. And the person doing it is just really relying on Google Calendar. I'm not. I prefer paper, but the idea of scheduling appointments with yourself on when you're going to get things done and treat it as just as important as any external appointments. And so I have blocked out a prototypical week, and I'm tweaking it already, like figuring out, oh, that's not realistic for me, this is realistic. But the idea of having a morning routine, my evening routine, this is when my chores are going to get done, this is when I'm running my errands, this is when I plan on doing the things that are important to me. So I have a big craft block set out every afternoon after lunch, because I find that is when I want to do crafting. If I try to do it in the evening, my eyes are usually not handling it at the end of the day, or too early in the morning. Honestly, I don't want to. I want to sit with my coffee and flip through social media and waste time on the internet, basically. So I'm giving it a whirl. I will let you know how well it turns out for me, but yesterday was one of the most productive days I've had in months, and not really just in crafting, just general life. So, let's see. And again, it may work for you, it may not work for you. Maybe you're, not the kind of person who needs that kind of structure in their life. I do, and I'm not very good at providing it for myself, so it's a way for me to see if this will work. Anyway, I will not be recording for the next week and 2 weeks. I just did the math on that. And it's between Christmas stuff, traveling with family. I just will not have the time to do that. But in the meantime, I wish everyone a Merry Christmas, peace on earth, goodwill to men, and I will see you in the new year. Bye.